Well, hello, Riven mains and Yasuo mains alike. I am the Nightwing, Way of Life Esports, coming at you guys with another League of Legends video. Now, we have the all-time premier semifinal matchup, the MSI rematch between G2 Esports and SK Telecom T1. Yes, it was oh so long ago that G2 took down SKT at MSI, denying Faker his third MSI title and also denying SKT the very first time they've ever entered a international event, the finals. And now we've come a long way since spring. The meta has changed. The players and respective teams, only just SKT, have changed. Playstyles have changed. A lot has changed since spring. And it is now all culminated to this moment right here. I actually believe that whoever wins this match is going to be able to win the 2019 World Championship. And, I mean, I already picked G2 in my 2019 pick'em, so I have to pick G2. But other than that, we're going to have a great discussion right here. This has been a long time coming, and we were discussing this actually when Worlds first started, is that we were actually glad that G2 and SKT did not end up actually in the same group. It would rather have been just better if they meet in a best of 5, which obviously is going to be the best thing moving forward. Now, this right here is going to be a different beast than the FPX versus IG series because of how the teams like to play. SKT like to play fairly standard, and G2 like to play a very flexible picks, flexing those between bot, mid, top. You could have them playing supports in the top lane, could have a secret strat coming up, but SKT also have shown that they are massively a lot better than what they showed the last time against G2, because the criticism of SKT was that they were playing too slow. The draft was horrible, even though I thought the draft was actually pretty good. So we're not going to count draft here because I feel like draft is an easy way for people to just overall scapegoat the coach and not blame the player. So the draft for both teams have been really good all tournament long. There's not a drafting issue. The issue is the reason why SKT didn't win last time is because they weren't flexible, they were playing too slow, and they weren't fast enough at competing against this meta. Well, all that's changed since then. They are now fast. They can actually beat you in probably 20 minutes if they wanted to, and they're actually flexible. And in terms of being flexible, Khan showed that in the Splice series as he was picking counter matchups to every single top laner that Vizicachi was throwing at him, and he also did this in the group stage as well. So now that SKT are also flexible in terms of what they're able to do, we even saw Teddy pull off the Yasuo. This team is as flexible as they need to be, but in terms of actually winning on flexibility, I'm going to have to give that edge towards G2 still, because they've been doing it a lot longer, and SKT are just now have only adapted it pretty much toward the end of summer all the way to Worlds, so that edge will go to G2. But now you look at how the overall lanes could be impacted. Now you have to factor in that the biggest matchup in this actual best of 5 is still going to be what it was last time, Caps versus Faker. And the issue is that Faker has had a interesting tournament to the point where he's been really good and to the point where he's been non-existent. So that is not the non-existent that is the non-existent that is bad. His non-existent is that more or less so, you know that coming in that other players are able to, you know, overall carry the game a lot more effectively than he's been able to do. And that's probably him overall, I'm thinking, just being like, all right guys, I'm going to sit here and scale. I'm going to let you guys have some chances at carrying the game, because we've actually got a chance to see that, because in the very last series, Khan and Teddy were popping off super hard with Clid, and he was just pretty much there just as a normal standard mid laner, and that's fine because he's done more than his share of carrying SK Telecom T1 to all of their world championships and all of their international titles. So if he's actually just being a standard mid laner, then that is where Caps could come in and beat him. But that's the issue, is that Faker did this exact thing at the 2019 MSI, and Cap still wasn't able to get past him. Remember, Faker to this day has really never been solidly beaten by any of the West mid laners. It's happened in one series, which Perks, when he was still playing mid lane, was able to take down Faker and actually made him go negative. He was actually down in CS way back during the 2017 MSI finals. Perks is still to this day the only Western mid laner that has ever really given Faker a run for his money, but that really didn't even matter because everywhere else on SKT was able to win the match. And that is how SKT have this big edge over G2, is that even if they do camp Faker and put him behind, the other players on the map are just as strong. Now, if you look at G2's side, this is the issue of going it, well, top to bottom, is that you have the top lane, and you have Khan versus Wonder. I'm going to give the edge to Khan all day, every day, because Khan has had an amazing tournament. I think that Wonder's tournament overall has been pretty mixed. I wouldn't say solid or acceptable, because having a mixed competition in terms of him just overall not playing to his standard, or whatever standard that a lot of people have set out for them, has just not really panned that way for Wonder. Then you look at the jungle, and Clid has overall been a consistent force to SKT's wins, and has actually played better than Jankos the entire tournament. That edge goes to SKT. Then you look at the mid lane, and like I said, it really does depend on Caps versus Faker. Caps can beat Faker, not in the traditional way that most people are thinking. Caps can beat Faker by leaving his lane and roaming effectively and having a carry mid lane champ. For that specific edge, by what we've seen out of Faker, I'm going to give the edge to Caps, not because of a better player, but because of what he can do around the map more effectively, as what we've seen. If they're going to get Faker a lane scaling pick, he's not really going to be doing much, as you saw in the other previous series as well, and as in their wins against, well, when they're actually in their group. Now you look at the bot lane. The bot lane is actually where a lot of the bigger differences come out when you actually look at how the teams like to play. G2 played through their bot lane a lot more than SKT played through their bot lane, but SKT's bot lane is super strong and super solid, to the point where if G2 cannot get a win in the bot lane as per any, let's say, counter matchups or matchups that are super hard carry favored, then SKT are going to have the edge. But seeing as how Teddy really wasn't a big playmaking factor in the Splice series as to the way I would want him to be, because overall he was having the Draven lane, he was not really winning in CS that much, he obviously was making some decent mistakes, but it wasn't really that bad. But overall, I think that G2's flexibility in the bot lane is going to give them the edge in the bot lane matchup, and it's going to be a toss-up to see who's going to win. This is one of the best matchups that we're going to have all year, and one that we're always going to remember. And I want to say this, if G2 beat SKT this time around, because I predicted it last time, and I'm going to predict it this time, but if G2 beat SKT this time, that means they are the best Western team of all time. They've taken down SKT at MSI, they've beaten Griffin once in the group stage, they've taken down Damwon, and if they beat SKT again, they'll have taken down SKT twice and the other top two Korean seeds. That would undoubtedly make them the best Western team of all time. No Western team has ever did this before. And even if they don't beat SKT, they're still the best, because obviously they've taken down 3 Korean teams in 1 year. There's been no Western team that has ever did that yet. And that is just a testament to how strong this team actually is. But this is going to be a really, really explosive series. I want to go on all 5 games, no 4 games, no blowouts. I want this to be the best series of the year. The finals are going to be a little bit hard to predict, because we don't actually know the forms of the teams going in, because we're doing it based off predictions, and you have to look at it through several different ways. Faker has not been exactly what people like and know him for, but the issue is what they want to do with him. It's not more or less so we know he can't carry a game, because we know he can carry a game. It's more or less so, what do SKT want to do with him? That's the point of it. And the issue is, what do G2 want to do to attack a certain lane of SKT? We saw that in the Damwon series, if they're able to attack a specific lane, they're able to win the game. The same thing goes with SKT. If SKT attack top and they can win the game, if G2 choose to go bot and attack the game, they can win the game. So it's going to be really, really a game of cat and mouse to see which team is actually going to get the ball rolling. Whatever draft is faster and better is going to be the determining factor to the series as well. Now, if you want to give it towards mental edge, that's going to be for G2. They're going to be like, okay, we already beat them once. We can probably do it again. It's going to be a lot harder this time, But SKT going in don't have Mata like they did last time. They're going to be playing Effort. So that's going to be an edge for SKT, because if Effort is able to do something a lot more differently than Mata is, which he's been showing all tournament, then we're going to actually have to see where it's going to go. But I got G2 winning in 3 games. This is going to be the best matchup all year. If you guys think SKT is going to win, that's totally fine. They have a lot of good strengths going for them. They have the better top side duo. I think that G2 have the better bot side duo. And the mid lanes are going to be obviously factored into what the draft is going to entail for them to do. But we're going to have to see. So I'll see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. Wave Life Esports is signing out. Peace. You guys have a great day.
Hi there, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff.
Yeah, thank you.